Okay, so welcome to this week's Scary Sundays to Boundless Mondays call. I've got the lovely Karyn with me. Welcome, Karyn. I've got Oscar the Spoodle snoring away here. He's just fallen asleep and he's snoring really loudly. So if you hear him, that's what it is. So welcome, Karyn. It's lovely to meet you. Do you have a specific question about your human design or human design in general, or leaving your corporate job or your business? Or I'm here, you were brought here today for a reason, so I'm happy to answer anything that you've got.
And I'm the only one for a reason. Look at
You
that.
are.
I mean, every question in the book, and yes, I'm trying to leave my 9 to 5 and I'm launching myself on the first in my coaching. I'm in the same 9 to 5 that I've been in for 3 separate decades. So it's like I was in it, I left it for almost 10 years, ended up back in it. I left it for almost 10 years, ended up back in it.
Okay. And what is it?
I know it's online tech support. So it's like the worst job in the world with what used to be a half decent pay. And now it's just paying the bills, and that's about all it's doing. But every time I dig into human design, when I got into human design, I was like, oh my God, like, what is this wonderful, crazy wowness? And there's something there, like there's something that I'm supposed to be doing, and I know that I'm supposed to be doing it. So why the heck am I not doing it?
Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Great question to bring to this call. That's why you're here. All right. Do you mind sharing your birth details with me on the call so I can generate your chart, or do you want to put them in the chat and then I can anonymize your chart if you prefer?
It really doesn't matter to me. I can tell you. October 27th. All right. Yeah, for sure. Right.
Let's go ahead and sit with your chart. So let us. Okay. Okay, so if I take your birth date first, Karyn.
October 27, 1976.
I have to do it the different way around because I'm British, or live in Australia, so we do our dates the different.
27th of October, 1976.
76, perfect. And the time?
1:26 p.m.
Okay. 26, and country?
Canada.
Okay, and the city or town?
Orillia. Orillia.
Okay, that's just generating it now. Let's bring you up, because it's like I can't see you properly until I can see your chart. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let us do this and let's share your chart. That's very weird. It's telling me that screen sharing is failing. Let's try it again. There we go. It's like, what on earth? Okay, so here you are, pure generator, sacral generator. Okay. So just talk to me about the business. What's your vision? What do you see? What do you desire for your life? How do you want your life to look, first of all?
Simple luxury.
What does that look like? What are your days like? What's your day in your business look like?
A day in my business is not jam-packed, but definitely impactful. So, 3 or 4 client calls, definitely nature, definitely not somewhere where it's a cold climate.
And what's the coaching that you're doing at the moment in your business?
Well, I'm titling it sort of a transformational empowerment. Essentially, letting everybody know that they're their own source of happiness, looking back into societal patterns, generational patterns, realizing that a lot of things that we think aren't what we think, it's what we were taught to think. Okay. The whole collective consciousness and oneness and everything.
Okay. So when you think about leaving your job and having this as your full-time business, what comes up? How do you feel when you kind of put yourself in that position?
I think the biggest thing is that I haven't started yet. So I feel like I need to start it to know that it's going to do what I know it's going to do when I finally start it. But then I think having the job is blocking me from that because it takes up a lot of my time and my brain power. So it's, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those, I need to see it before I believe it, but I know I need to believe it before I see it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So what is it that's making you feel that way? Like you need to be certain before you leave your job? What is it that's making you feel like that?
I don't really know. I think it's like fear of not having, fear of it. If I just quit my job and start doing this, what if I don't do it? And then I won't have, and then I just, yeah, fear.
So let's talk a little bit more about what if you don't do it. What does that mean when you said, what if I don't do it? What's it? What is doing it? What does that mean?
I think that's part of the issue too. And I've been saying that as part of why I haven't actually started, because I'm so used to being the good employee. You tell me everything I need to do and I'm going to super do it for you. So now that I'm telling myself what to do, and I'm really kind of not sure what to do, but I kind of know what to do. And then keeping accountable to myself. So it's the whole, am I going to do the right thing? Am I going to stay accountable to myself? Am I going to do the right thing the right way? Is it going to work out the way that I think it will? Because there's no guarantee. I'm the guarantee. And am I a good guarantee?
Yeah. It's like, can you gamble on yourself? Oh, what a muzzy. Can you bet on yourself?
Yeah. I have faith in myself, but I don't know if I have faith in myself. I am like the biggest hypocritical oxymoron ever. So, is that in my chart?
The first place that I want to talk about is your undefined head and your undefined ajna. I think that's what is kind of overtaking everything else. It's like this cloud in front of it. You can't see straight because of these two areas maybe out of alignment. The reason I say that is because your undefined ajna, it's always searching. It's searching, asking the question, what is this going to look like? Is this going to work? What do I need to do to make it work? What are the actions I need to take to make it work? Who do I need to be to make it work? Like it can have us in this kind of almost obsessive cycle of asking questions, needing certainty. And combined with your undefined ajna, so the ajna is your mental processing. It's where you come to beliefs about yourself, opinions about the work that you do, and the perspective about yourself and how this is all going to work. And all the words that you used when you were describing that fear were all around, will it work? What if it doesn't work? What does it look like? What am I supposed to do? All of these questions. And it's all happening up here. It's kind of, like I said, it creates this kind of fogginess and this almost this paralysis. I can't do anything because I need the answers first. So it's like with your generators, and I'm obviously a generator as well, have this signature of satisfaction. So whenever you're doing something you love to do, whenever you're putting your energy somewhere it loves to be, something that really makes you happy and brings you joy and pleasure in any area of your life, it's that frequency of satisfaction that you're in. So your undefined head is saying, how can I find that? How can I feel satisfied so that I can move ahead? How can I be sure that this is going to work? How can I be satisfied with the answer so I can move ahead? And it's almost like you're putting this satisfaction, this happiness, this joy on the other side of these answers. If only I could find this and be certain, then I could move ahead. But until I find that, I can't move. It's like, yeah, this paralysis. It's like, I need this before I can move ahead. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I say paralysis by analysis quite often.
Yeah. And that it's totally understandable. This is what these two areas are doing, because the conditioning, societal conditioning, is saying, okay, well, you need to know, you need to have it all planned out before you can move ahead. And that's the only way that you can be safe, is if you can energetically see what's going to happen. You can see where this income's going to come from. You need to be sure and certain. Mm-hmm. So what we can do is kind of flip this conditioning on its head. And we can look at our chart and say, okay, I feel like these two areas are out of alignment because they're pulling me into this frustrated energy all the time, because I'm searching for answers, searching for the truth, like the one truth. This is what the undefined ajna out of alignment will do, is it will search desperately, this kind of desperate, almost grasping energy. It will search for the truth. What is the truth of this situation? So we can say, okay, we know that we always want to be in this, I call it this golden river of satisfaction. We always want to be there, because that, when we're there in as many areas of our lives as we can be, everything else opens up. And this is how, or one of the ways that I left my 9-to-5, because I started looking for the satisfaction in everything. Even the small things, like whatever satisfaction is to you. Like, I will get up in the morning and make a cup of coffee. That first sip of coffee to me is just divine. Like, literally, I can feel it. And whenever I feel that feeling, that kind of pure joy, I stop and say to the universe, this is it. This is satisfaction for me. This is how I want to feel. You know, you describe this ideal day in your business. This is how I want to feel more of the time. More of this, please. And the more I stopped in my day and said, oh yeah, that's it. That's satisfaction for me. This is what it is. You're signaling all the time, I'm here and this is where I want to be. But I found the more time that I spent focusing on, I don't want to be here. I am really miserable. This job is draining the life out of me. I got caught in this perpetual loop of frustration for years. Like, I tried for over a decade to leave my job, all sorts of different businesses and ideas, and push, just pushing ahead to try and get this to happen, like to try and find that one answer. So that's the first thing I would say. As a pure generator, the longer and the more time that you can spend in satisfaction, that will be the basis for everything else. And like, I get it. Logically, sometimes we don't want that answer. We want the answer of, well, you do this and do this and do this, and your chart says this. That's what we're conditioned to find, particularly with your undefined ajna. It'll be, sometimes it's an energy of, yeah, I know, but what's the answer? Just give me that thing. That frequency of satisfaction is your thing. Like, that's where the universe really wants you to be. That's where you can really be of service to other people when you're in that. So that's the first thing I would say, is focus on those moments in your day where you can kind of anchor that in and say, yes, this is it. And really, really small things like having a bath, walking Oscar, having a glass of wine, watching a good show on Netflix. Like, it doesn't have to be deeply spiritual. It can be just chilling out on the sofa because it feels good, that kind of thing. So this undefined head and undefined ajna, we can say, when you feel that energy of, if only I could kind of nail down that idea. I have all these ideas, they're all floating around in my head, but I need this one idea. Like, I need to stop. I want the answer to this question before I can move ahead. That's what that I have an open head center, and I do exactly the same. So us open head centers is like, imagine standing on a bridge over a highway and you see all these cars driving kind of underneath you and towards you. And us undefined heads will want to drive all the cars. We'll be like, oh, that one looks good because that's got shiny wheels, and that one looks good because it's got a white leather interior, and that looks good because it's a really shiny black car. Like, oh, we're like kids in a sweet shop type energy. But when we're in alignment here, we can stop that continual mental noise by saying, I don't need to drive all of these cars. I don't even need to know right now which car I need to drive. Some of these could be for other people. There's other people driving these cars. And it's the same with ideas. Sometimes all the ideas that we have, because we get so inspired by other people, sometimes they're not all for us. Sometimes they're for other people. Sometimes we don't need to take action on all those ideas because we get so inspired, particularly if you spend time, and who doesn't, on social media. You get so kind of inspired by all these other things that people are doing. And to the point where you think, well, I should be doing that because that equals success, or I should be doing that because that equals success or satisfaction. So getting out of this open head center looks like saying, I don't need to find the answer. That's not my purpose. I'm not here to find all these answers and to have all these ideas. When I'm in satisfaction more of the time, the answers will be shown to me. When my mind can get cool and calm and clear, the next right step will become obvious. And if it's not obvious, I can ask for it. What's the next right step? I'm in this frequency of satisfaction. I'm ready for the next step. I did that this morning when I was out walking Oscar. There's something that I'm kind of not struggling with, but kind of doing that endless questioning in my open head center. And I said to Spirit, can you just show me the next right step? That's all I need. I don't need the big picture. I don't need to know the answer, or I don't need to know the outcome, but please just show me the next right step. And for me, that was booking an oracle and channel reading with somebody. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I don't need to know any more than that. So anyway, all that to say, you don't need to know all the answers, and you don't need to know how everything's going to pan out right now, because that's not how you're designed. The universe wants to shift you into happiness now, into satisfaction now, so that when you feel good, you're in a clearer space to work out or to receive that next step. So this open head center, when you find yourself in that loop of questions, you can say, okay, I get it. I see what's happening here. I know that I don't need all the answers right now. I know that I don't need to search for the answers. I don't need to be doing this endless mental labor for myself or for other people, because sometimes us open head centers do that mental and emotional labor for other people to make sure their world is all good and all safe so that we'll be safe.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't need to do that. We can relax into, okay, I get it. Let's have a look at how this open head center benefits me, how it benefits the collective. Inspiration. I get this inspiration, but I don't need to act on everything. So that's how we can kind of flip that.
Okay.
And with your undefined ajna, it will have you saying, what's the one truth I need to be certain? It will be searching for certainty. So you can flip it and say, this open ajna of mine allows me to be really open-minded. They say people with open ajnas are like mind readers. You can see what people are thinking. You can see all the different perspectives on an issue. It's like picking up a jewel and kind of examining it from all sides. That's the ability that you have. So you're able to see and lean into that and say, okay, I understand that I have fear. I understand that. I get it. I can take this fear around leaving my job and this fear around income and see it from a lot of different perspectives. I can see, if I choose to, that income doesn't just come from my job or a business. I can see that I can be supported by the universe. If I'm in that signature of satisfaction, the universe can support me in a myriad of ways. It doesn't just have to be through either my job or my business. It doesn't have to be an either or situation. So by exploring your energy in these ways, you're taking the pressure off the situation and off you to find the right answer. And you're saying, okay, all right, I get it. I don't have to do all this mental labor. I don't have to find all these answers. My job is to make myself feel good. Because when I feel good and I feel satisfied, things start to drop in and they start to fall into place.
Which is true.
Yeah. And we don't need another job. Like, that's what's coming to me. You don't need another job right now, as in you don't need another thing to work out and work through and work out what that answer is. It's like your job is you right now and your energy. If it helps, I'll share that when I left, so I started to spend more of my time in this signature of satisfaction. And then I don't know whether it's appropriate for you. Do you work from home or do you go to an office?
Work from home.
You work from home. So whatever this looks like for you, but for me, well, I was working in an office then, but I started to bring more of my energy and who I was into my work and my day. So for me in an office, that looked like I started to bring my oracle cards with me. I had Rebecca Campbell's Starseed deck, and I used to bring that in with me, and I bought my essential oils. And have you got that one?
I have her work the light cards. Yes.
Oh, I love her decks. Love them. So I used to do that. I wrote my leaving date. I chose a leaving date and I wrote it on a post-it note and I put it under my keyboard. And I had no idea how that was going to happen. No idea at all. But I said, okay, I can't do this mental labor anymore. I'm exhausted with it. I'm going to choose a date. And every time I feel frustrated, so that's our not self, when we're not kind of in our power, in that frustration, I used to put my hand over the date and send it good energy. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if it would work. I didn't know I was doing it. But I ended up leaving my job 3 months before that date. And there's other clients of mine who have been in our situation, because I can say ours because I know exactly how you feel. Like right now, I'm in that hole with you, putting out my hand and saying, damn, Karyn, I know how that feels. So other clients in our situations have done that, and they've left earlier than this date. And they picked a date that intuitively felt good to them. So those are some.
And I've already picked a date, so I'm going to
Okay.
put a Post-it on. And I already started doing well, I mean, I work from home, but while I'm doing my job, I literally have my laptop there doing my thing. Still doing my job, but doing my thing. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like we've got parallel lives. That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
I used to have one tab open with my work and all these other tabs open with my human design. Yeah, absolutely. So that's really, there's nothing else that's dropping in. There's nothing else at the moment for you. Your only job is yourself and filling yourself up and finding joy again. And sometimes I'm a bit reticent to say that because it could sound a bit kind of cliched, but that's what's coming, the joy.
Yeah.
You know, what makes you happy? Because when you're happy, spirit's more able to guide you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that I would say is anything that you can do to get out of here and let it do its thing. Because where we have these undefined centers, it's like you and me with our open heads, undefined, open, same thing, like interchangeable, are always kind of bothering it. We're always knocking at its door going, I need to sort out the energy in here, please. This is something for me to control. And we kind of need to walk away and let that energy do its thing. So the way that you can do that, and you may do some of these already, grounding meditations, where you can literally visualize your energy like this golden ball of light moving out of this area down into your sacral, with this center of joy and pleasure and this life force that you have, this real life force in your sacral. Spending time in your sacral, particularly you're a pure generator, so that's how you make decisions, these kind of yes, no, you just know if something's right for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an emotional authority, so I have to kind of take my time and ride my emotions. You don't. You're like, yeah, I know, yeah. And yeah, grounding meditations, literally grounding yourself, going outside bare feet
Nature.
on the earth. Yeah, that is beautiful to get you out of that headspace. Anything that, like cardio is good as well, like working out. Any cardio will help relieve any pressure in your defined root center, because when we get kind of out of alignment there, there's a lot of pressure there because it's a pressure center. So there's pressure to continually be doing, continually be working, continually to be on, and that kind of hustle feeling. Cardio can help clear your head center, and it can help relieve the pressure in your root center as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I do a lot of power walking to clear everything. Yeah. So the other thing, because I have an open heart and an open solar plexus, is like the emotional part, getting out of my head and into my heart is so difficult for me. I mean, emotions have always been difficult for me. I'm just learning in the last few years that there's more than happy and mad. Go figure. But I know everybody else's emotions, which is a wonderfully annoying thing.
Love these questions. Okay, so let's start with this completely open emotional solar plexus.
Totally unattached from my emotions.
It's beautiful though. Where we're open, it's sometimes our open centers get a bit of a bad rap, but these open centers are beautiful. This open emotional center, where you said, I now know there's more than two emotions. That can be an open emotional center out of alignment, these extremes. I need to feel something, otherwise I don't feel anything. So these extremes of emotion are kind of what resonate with us, like really, really happy, deliriously happy, or mad, like these two things. And it's like, well, where's that kind of balance in between? So this open emotional center, particularly because you are going to be working with clients, particularly when you're coaching, you approach it like a screen, not a sponge, because the open emotional center will pull in and amplify everybody's emotions around it, particularly if they're defined emotionally, like I am. Like after this call, it would be, so I've got another mosquito. After this call, it would be really good for you to do some kind of quick process to empty your emotional center, because I'm full of emotion all the time, because that's how I'm defined, and you will be amplifying it. So anytime that you're around people, full stop, having some sort of practice afterwards, visualization or meditation or walking in nature to clear other people's emotions out of your emotional center would be really useful. So what it can have you doing is amplifying the emotions of everyone around you and trying to fix them. Okay, I need to fix you because I can feel how awful you feel, and that's making me feel awful. So if you're calm and you're happy, it's safe for me to be calm and happy, because then I'm not picking up these difficult emotions from you. So particularly when you're coaching, you can hold this space for people to process their emotions in your energy without taking them all on and running them through your own circuit, almost. Like visually having this open space, even doing this, like I'm holding this space for clients and I can see their emotions and I can guide them and I can help them process them. But once they're gone, I can literally, like physically, I can let it go, because I'm not designed to hold that amount of emotion. I don't want to. And that's not a bad thing. It's the way we're designed. You make great coaches. Open emotional centers in alignment make really great coaches, because you can see all these different perspectives with your open ajna. You can hold space for people to process them. I mean, that's what coaching is, right? That is absolutely what coaching is. So that's a beautiful center to have open or undefined. Really beautiful, this kind of space holding. And we hear a lot about holding space in the spiritual community, but you guys with open emotional centers, you're like the queens of holding space, because you can literally see it there. Yep. But you need to protect your own energy as well. Be very kind of protective about your boundaries. And your open heart, so an undefined heart. Again, I've got an open heart center, so I can resonate with how this feels. Whenever anyone would say, you know, you hear it all the time about, I can feel it in my heart. You need to get into your heart. It's, you know, she's all heart, things like that. I was like, I feel like I should be able to connect with that, but I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And what we're designed to do in these areas, you and me, is to say, I see everyone else's self-worth. Like, you can see people's value. You can see their self-worth. You can see desire at a really deep level. Again, great coach, money coach, manifestation coach, you can see the desires of other people and you can hold space for them to get there. That's this beautiful coaching energy that you have, because you don't need to connect with your heart necessarily. Where your power is your sacral. If you are happy and you are fulfilled, you are unstoppable. Like, you're so powerful. But our conditioning has us believe, yeah, I need to connect with my heart. You don't. What if that wasn't true? That's not true. That's a story that we're told, right? That we're a good person if we can connect with our heart. Well, it's got nothing to do with it. Where are you powerful? In your defined centers. Where can you hold space for other people to become powerful? In your open centers. So you don't have to take off that pressure. Like with your undefined ajna, you can say, that's not the truth. That could be the truth for some people. Like, you can see all these different perspectives. It's not true for me. My gut is where I am super powerful. That's where I want to be. You don't have to connect to that space. We're aware of it, but the very words that you're using, like I think you said, I can't connect with it, or I can't, something like that. Because there's no, because you're open. This side of your chart is completely open. There are no connections there. So of course you can't. You don't have to. That's not how you're designed. Here, you can connect with your gut, definitely. You can connect, you can talk about who you are, this 31-7, the channel of the alpha, this leadership energy. When you're in alignment, you can lead people. You have this really strong energy of leadership, but you lead them in this way that's not manipulative. It's like a really responsible leadership energy. Like, I can lead you out of something. And often when we've experienced it ourselves, like when you leave your job, which you will, and move into this incredible coaching business with all these open areas that you have, that's a really beautiful leadership energy to be in, to show people that I struggled with this for a long time, but I did it. And this is how I did it, that kind of leadership energy. So yeah.
And that all makes so much sense, because between the alpha and I don't remember if it's the 50 or one of them is the determination something. So it's just like everything makes so much sense. I just have to start living it. Stop asking about it and start living it.
Exactly. Stop asking about it and relax into it. Whenever we say, I need to, I should do, I have to, every time you use those words, and your throat center is powerful, you have a defined throat center. So when you use those words, it's like you're signaling to the universe, well, I'm currently in lack, so I need to do something. I have to, I should, I need to. Whereas when we flip it and say, or I get to relax, I get to be in my signature of satisfaction. That's what I get to do. Because everything else comes from that. So us generators very easily fall into this agenda. If I do this, I'll get this, because that's that's the kind of conditioning. You've got to do this. You've got to work hard to get this. You've got to take this action for this result to happen. But when we relax into the energy that we innately have, it's like, okay, it's not about the doing. It's about me feeling good, me being in my sacral, things turning up for me to respond to as a generator. So being able to use that sacral to go, yes, that feels good, I want to do that, or actually, no, that doesn't feel good. There is no need to do. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. Take the pressure off yourself. Be really kind, have some compassion, and go, I can just put this down for a while, this questioning, and just make myself feel good. And everything else comes from there.
Yeah. And that's what I've been trying to do lately, is just be calm. Stop trying. Stop being the challenge queen. I am in so many challenges on Facebook. It's amazing. And just stop asking questions, stop getting information. You have all the information.
Yeah, you've already got everything you need. The reason you're in so many challenges is this defined root center, because it's very powerful, and it's like that center of adrenaline, and it's like, oh, a challenge, oh, I need to do that. My defined root center had me signing up for half marathons when I was like in a really confused state. I was having a really hard time at work, and that's how I kind of, oh, what's the next challenge? What's in the next challenge? And that can be good, but when it's out of alignment, it can have us all over the place, like running on this adrenaline and this kind of pressure to grow and pressure to evolve. Sometimes it's like we progress in the space between. That's what's coming through to me for you. It's like when we're always going and pushing, there's no space for anything to happen. But it's in the resting phase of this, the pulse. So there's too much coming in at once. With the root center, so it works in pulses and it works in phases. And you have this work phase, this pushing phase, growing, evolving, and then it has to rest to complete that cycle, to allow the downloads to come in, to allow you to signal to the universe, okay, I can be this open space for service, for you to show me what the next right step is. But when we're always pushing, it's like the universe goes, I can't even get a word in, Karyn. Like I can't get in. And it's like, the visual I'm getting is like the universe is jumping up and down behind you going, the answers are here. Can you just stop?
Yeah.
That's what's coming through. So yeah, kindness and compassion for yourself, and then things will start to really shift and change. It's like seismic activity in a earthquake, like everything starts to shift and change.
Nice.
And the last thing I would say, unless you've got any more questions, you're very welcome. We've got plenty of time if you want more questions. But the other place I'm being drawn to is these two arrows here. So these arrows are your manifestation style. So you are a non-specific, passive manifester, same as me. Now, that can sound quite, especially for a generator who's so used to doing something to get something, can be like, but I thought you had to be really specific with your manifestations and set your goals and, on and on and on. You and me have this peripheral view of the world. Non-specific manifestors don't always see things in minute detail. So that's why I asked you at the beginning, what do you want your day, like what do you want to feel in your day? What do you want your day to look like? The specifics of your business aren't really material. It's how do you want to feel? Do you want to be free? Do you want to have the ability to travel? Do you how do you want to feel in your business? So when you're talking to the universe, when you're having this conversation with her, you can say, so I'll give you my example because it's just easier. I'm a 6-2 profile, so I teach from my own experience, which is why I always come back to my example. So I will say, I want freedom in my business. I just want freedom to be out of corporate and to feel that I'm not tied down to other people's agendas. I want to feel joy because I'm helping other people do the same and helping other people open up. So for you and me, it's about letting her know how you want to feel rather than the specifics. If you're an active specific manifestor, it's like, okay, universe, here's a laundry list of what I want. Can you please deliver this? For us, it's like, I don't have a job to do here. My job is to get myself in a good place, in my signature of satisfaction. Let the universe surprise me. Because things have happened in my business in the last year that I could never even have asked for. They're way beyond anything I even considered for myself. So I didn't put any kind of boundaries on my manifesting and say, I want this and this and this and this. Mm-hmm. It was kind of, this is how I want to feel. What's next? Surprise me. I've got a Post-it note here that just says, surprise me. Nice. Lean into that for a week or so, that energy. Surprise me. I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I have the hardest time with future tripping. What do you want your business to look like in 1 year, 3 years? What is your perfect day? I'm like, I want to feel free. I want to feel like I'm doing a good thing. I can't say, I want to wake up and see this and I want to eat this. And so definitely understand that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you don't have to, again, that's conditioning, right? Mm-hmm. Like planning ahead. I can't do that either. You, particularly as a sacral generator, energetically, you can't see about 3 months, more than 3 months ahead. Like you work in kind of quarterly cycles. So for anyone to say to you, okay, where do you want to be in your business in a year? What is it going to look like? What are you going to be doing? What kind of income do you want to bring in? That used to spin me out. I know what kind of, what? I don't know. I don't know how much income I can bring in. And then you feel, then that brings in fear and scarcity because you think, I have to know the answers to this before this can happen. But I can't see it. And as a sacral generator, you're so in the moment and things shift and change. Like your sacral is like, it's always sampling what's going on around you so that it can point you in the right direction. So things shift and change really easily. I was talking to a photographer the other day and she said that, where do you see your business in a year? And I said to her, Paula, I've no idea. I don't know. I don't want to know. That's not any of my business. And she was kind of like, what? I said, I can give you a 3 months kind of outline, maybe. But it's like, I can't see any further than that. And as the days go on, as time moves on, the next part kind of comes into focus. And then the next part comes into focus, kind of like that. So yeah, about 3 months ahead. It's about all I can do.
And that makes so much sense. Yep.
Yeah. But so much pressure, so much conditioning and pressure that we should create a business like this, or we should know this, or we should know that. And that doesn't leave any room for the universe to go, it's okay. I've got you. Mm-hmm. I've got you back. It's fine. Just let me in. You work on yourself. I'll fill in the blanks. It's like someone told me the other day that was the definition of grace. We do what we need to do for ourselves. And that gap that we don't know what's going to happen or how to do it, that's grace. Like that's where the universe kind of steps in and goes, I got this, Karyn, don't worry about it. Just enjoy yourself.
Yes. So start doing challenges with the universe more and just,
Yeah. Just talk to her. Just talk to her. Talk to her like you would a friend, or write. If you're into writing or journaling, talk to her that way and just have this conversation, or when you're in the shower or out walking in nature. And, if I don't know kind of where you are with your kind of spiritual path, but if you connect to your guides, or even if you don't, just talk to them. Just talk to them and say, I need some help. I'd love you to step in and help me relax and help show me how to be in this signature of satisfaction. And then I trust that you and the universe with its grace will fill in the rest. But I just need some help. Or angels, if you resonate with angel energy, call in angels and say, I just need your help right now. I could really do with your help just to figure out. Or not to figure out's the wrong word, to help me relax into my energy. That's really all you need to do at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's been about like last 6 months heavy. Trying to get into talking to, definitely journaling, like a lot of journaling. But I think part of that also is the asking for help, even though I know that it's my own help, my higher help, universal help. it's still asking for help, and I have to do everything on my own, but I don't.
Every time you think that, say, hold on, this is an interesting thought. Kind of get outside of yourself and go, Karyn, why are you thinking that? Is that ultimately true? Nothing's ultimately true. The only truth is what we decide is true. And no, that's not ultimately true. What if I told myself a different story? What if I said, it doesn't have to be hard? What if I said, I believe that connecting with the universe is really easy. I'm this passive manifester. Like, I see life at this peripheral level. Like, it's easy for me. I've got it. Good things always happen to me. And just flip the story. It doesn't have to be heavy. It's only because society tells us that if we want something, it has to be heavy, hard work, right? And some of the things we do spiritually are deep work, but it doesn't have to be hard and heavy and difficult. It can be whatever we decide it to be. So yeah, I would lean into the energy of surprise me, receive, literally open hands. I'm ready. I'll do my part by relaxing, chilling out, getting into satisfaction. Surprise me. I'm ready to receive it. That works.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. You were definitely meant to be here today.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And the only one, look at that. Everybody else just cleared space and they were just, So one other small question, because I had this on one of my other charts. Environment kitchens. I kind of took that to mean because kitchens are always gathering spaces, but that was almost the only thing that I got. Like, kitchens, not an island, not the mountains, kitchens.
Yeah, kitchens. You're definitely on the right track. So kitchens is where transformation happens. So it's where we take raw ingredients and we alchemize them into something else. These places, God, I just got the chills then. Wow. Yeah. I just got chills everywhere. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, this kind of melting pot of transformation and this kind of mixing of ideas and frequencies and to create, alchemize into something else. That's the meaning of those kitchens. And dry is, so we've got kitchens wet, kitchens dry. Kitchens dry is that non-humid atmosphere, like not hot and heavy, just kind of that cool, drier air. Yeah. But anywhere you can be, ideally with people in person, so you can feel their energy and you're together. It's like, it's a very community energy, like people getting together, like, you know how the phrase innovation center is coming to me. You know how different people come together in like an innovation center with all their ideas and they kind of alchemize them into something else, that kind of energy. Yeah,
like a mastermind kind of a.
Anywhere where you're taking one kind of frequency, alchemizing it into something else, mutating it into something else.
Yep, that one hit home a little bit too. Perfect.
Good. I'm so pleased. I can't wait to see where this takes you.
Yeah, me either. It's definitely taking me on a heavy walk as soon as we're done. It's even stopped raining for me. So that's, even if it was raining, I'd still be up going for a walk.
Perfect. Yeah. Everything is always working out for us, right?
That was wonderful.
You're so welcome. I loved getting to know you.
Thank you.
I do have a question from Nicole. So she's going to watch the recording afterwards, but you're very welcome to stay if you'd like to. It's up to you while I answer this question. So let's bring up Nicole's chart. Let's make this It's bigger. Okay, so here we go. So Nicole is, she's the same authority as you. So she's a pure sacral authority. She's a manifesting generator. And her question was around, hold on one second. I've just got some notes here. Let me share the right screen. Sorry, Nicole, if you're watching, I'm just trying to get my notes. Okay, all right. So Nicole's question was, I'm new to human design and don't understand the gates yet. I would love to know more, especially how it relates to my writing business. So great. Thank you, Nicole, for that question. So the first, and in fact, one of the only places that I was drawn to talk about was this channel here, the 1648, which is the channel of wavelength or the channel of talent. And people with this channel, they have this natural born talent, like it's innate, like singers, dancers, actors, writers, artists, people like that, this innate talent. And this creative flair can lead to mastery over time. So this is definitely, this writing is something for you to master over time. I don't know anything about your business. I'm just kind of reading it as I see it. So people with this channel come to learn that true mastery happens over time, and it happens with continual practice and training and repetition. Like it's a very kind of this cycle of over and over and over again with this creative flair. The other part of it is having the right support network around you. So you're not doing this always in isolation. You have this support network around you. There's a lot of depth and skill to your creative flair. So what for you, it's writing. For someone else, it might be dancing or theatre or composing something, whatever it is, or creating, creating a business, creating a life. But there's really kind of skill and talent in this channel here. So this 1648 can take months and years of commitment. So I don't know how long you've been doing this, but it really is this mastery over time. So the question often is, well, how do I support myself? That's all well and good, but how do I support myself on the way to this mastery? And particularly this gate 48, this fear of not being enough, this fear of not having enough, this fear of not knowing enough before you can get to where you want to be. So this gate 48 can really step in here. For you, it's conscious. So it's this black energy. So it's most likely you can connect to that quite easily, that do I know enough to teach others, or have I done enough practice to supply this service to other people? This gate 48 is also defined in the transits at the moment. So the transits are like the cosmic weather. So at the moment, gate 48 is defined in the spleen. So if you don't have this defined, you may be feeling this energy more deeply than you normally would. Karyn, oh, you do. You've got the same gate 48 defined as well. So the description of this gate will resonate with you too. This fear of not knowing enough in order to move forward. And this fear can have you doing two things. It can have you kind of diverting your talent to teach others, to support them so they can kind of make it big. If we're talking about creative industries, like supporting other people in their writing so they can be successful. And that's okay to a point, but this channel wants you to lean into mastery over time. So the fear of not knowing enough can have you wanting to teach somebody first before you kind of step up and say and claim it and say, yes, I am a master at this. The other danger with this channel, not danger, but things to watch out for, are forever studying, becoming a lifetime student, chasing degrees, chasing qualifications, chasing that, what's the word? Validation, chasing validation in order to kind of give your gifts, like share your gifts. This is a projected channel. So it means it has to be invited, like the projectors in human design, projected channels. Your wisdom here has to be invited. So if you feel that imposter syndrome, like you're not ready, you don't know enough, you're going to keep learning to fill the void. Whereas actually, all you need to do is relax into, okay, I have this natural talent, this writing talent. The mastery will come with time. I don't have to start teaching it. I don't have to learn more about it. So what I would encourage you to do, Nicole, is, and same for you, Karyn, as well, with this gate 48, journal around this. I know Karyn journals. Nicole, if it feels good to you, journal or talk out loud or talk into a voice recorder, anything where you can contemplate what this channel means for you and how the energy moves. Are you falling into one of those two kind of traps of either teaching it because you have this imposter syndrome, or continually learning? And anytime it's defined in the transits, for anyone else that's watching, if you don't naturally have this gate, but it is defined in the transits, journaling around what it means to you during those periods is very powerful. So if I show you what that looks like, so these are the transits of the day. This is the energy of the day, and this is Nicole's energy, and this is how they come together. So Nicole, for instance, let's have a look, 2057. So 20 at the moment is defined in the transits. It's not an energy you naturally have. So while it is defined, for you to journal or to contemplate on that gate 20, if you're familiar with gene keys or just starting to learn about gene keys, look at the shadow and the gift level and the acidic level of this gate 20. Well, that's interesting. I don't normally have access to this. What does it mean? Is it triggering me in some way? Lately, a lot of the splenic gates have been defined in the transits. So there's been a lot of fears that have come up for the collective, for everyone in the collective, because it's cycling through these gates of the spleen, these fear gates. So that's what I would say for, in fact, the only part of your chart that I was drawn to talk about is that 1648, really, really powerful for you. But the one more thing that I would look at, and this is applicable for you as well, Karyn, is the incarnation cross. So yours, Nicole, is right angle cross of the 4 ways, and Karyn is right angle cross unexpected 3. So if you go to lovemyhumandesign.com, I think it's love my or love your, let me check. Is it love? Ooh. loveyourhumandesign.com/incarnation crosses. That will show you the definition of your incarnation cross. So our incarnation cross is the 4 most powerful energies in our chart up here. And there are cardinal energies, so they pull in different directions. It's like north, south, east, west. And contemplating your incarnation cross can be really interesting. So it gives you a deeper layer, to kind of deeper look into what's going on. Yours, Nicole, right angle cross of the 4 ways too. So this cross is, look, it's all about privacy, and it's about space, like freedom in your own space. This cross is tied to your home in many ways, because it's important to you to have your own home where you can just be yourself. You may well be sociable, but there comes a time when you need to be alone. This energy could manifest in many forms, but often it's about the right for everyone to have their own space to be themselves. So these incarnation crosses, when we first come across them, sometimes don't make sense. Mine didn't make any sense to me when I first read it. I thought, I've no idea what that's talking about. But this is something that I go back to again and again and again as I go through different levels in my business and different areas of my life. Go back to your incarnation cross. Now, mine means so much sense. I was going to say it's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous, but it makes a lot of sense, because mine is about finding ways to work that are outside the norm, outside of the 9 to 5, outside. Is it shift pattern? Is it temporary work? What is it for you and other people that can help them break free of this kind of corporate pattern? How that didn't make sense to me, I don't know, but it didn't. So, but they're things to contemplate. So Nicole, for you, that channel 1648, channel of talent, channel of wavelength, and your incarnation cross are 2 places I would look. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any more questions. And before we go, Karyn, did you have anything else you wanted to ask?
No, that was beautiful. And it's funny that I do have a brief description of my cross. And part of it says, find your passion and embrace your struggle. If you cannot find your passion, then your struggle will feel depressing. Therefore, just release and feel the joy and everything will happen.
Is that what you're saying? I love that.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love that. So yeah, such a powerful, powerful energy, this incarnation cross. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing this space with me. It was wonderful to connect with you, and thank you for letting me read your chart for you.
Yes, thank you for holding space and for doing the reading. It was beautiful.
You are so welcome, and hopefully our paths will cross again. If you have any questions, you can always pop them in the Boundless pop-up group, because I'm in and out of there all the time. So
Perfect.
all right. Well, take care. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your walk.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, my love.
All right. Thanks. Bye. Bye.